Continuing conversation with entrepreneur John Morris. John, you also were quite vocal about the need to improve water quality downtown, and particularly the direction of the LA River.
Well, I just think it's time that, for the last 30, 40 years, the Port of Long Beach has been allowed to become the entity that it is today, which we're all very proud of. It's the #1 port in the world, and it does a tremendous job for the economy in our regional area and for the nation, for that matter. But at the same time, they caused us some problems, and I don't see that we, the community, have been paid back for those problems they caused, and one being water quality. We all know about the air quality, which they're working on, and they're starting to do a good job with that, and they're paying back the community that way. But they did cause the water to divert to our waterfront. The extension of Pier J really created other problems that I don't think anybody back then really thought out. So now that we're going to this next level at the port and doing the new bridge and doing the new rail terminal yards and so on and so forth, it's time for them to really look at how can we help clean up this water.
I know that one proposal that you articulated was to
divert it.
Well, the LA River now curves to the left and winds up in our waterfront, but that curve was, as you said, because of the construction of the pier, and an alternative that you recommended was to change the flow of the river so that water does not go to our waterfront.
Well, I just know there's ways to do this. I've talked to some really respectable people. I know you know Diane Creel that used to head up Earth Technology, and just in conversations we've had over the years, this could be done. And everybody throws out the dollar amount. But when you're dealing with the port money, to me, it's monopoly money, because you're looking at a long-term project. Whether it's $100 million or $200 million, it doesn't matter. They owe this community to give us back a pristine waterfront that we used to have.
Well, consistent with that, of course, just for the record, the port has become a green port and is known throughout the world as the most environmentally sensitive port, and is really pioneering a lot of very positive developments, particularly in air quality, as you mentioned. But this certainly would be consistent with that effort.
Well, I don't take away what they're doing on today. What they're making up for today is great, but we still need to go one more step. They need to participate in our water quality. Yeah. It's so easy to blame the cities up above us for dumping it, but if that river would have stayed flowing the way it used to flow, it would have been dumping into the port property, and you know damn well they would have been taking care of it. Yeah. This way, we have to take care of it.
And what about breakwater? Where do you stand on the surf riders and breakwater?
I think it's awesome, and I think that it's water circulation is key for everything. And I don't think even the surf riders. I think that what happens is you get the people fighting against each other because it's the surf riders are involved. Everybody assumes they want to go surfing down at the end of the peninsula, but they don't. They want the same thing.
And the homeowners are concerned about impact on the beach of tidal flows.
And I think it's all the fear factor of surfing versus what everybody really wants is clean water. That's all everybody wants. So the opening of the breakwater more than likely be towards the downtown end of things and not impact the peninsula.
Well, as you say, that would be a benefit to waterfront homeowners to have clean water in front of their homes.
Everybody. It benefits everybody, but everybody's forgetting that picture. And I think a lot of times why we forget is the issue is on the west side of Long Beach. And on the west side of Long Beach, and it's poor people. I don't think anybody listens. They're not a priority. And I think that's where those kids go to the beach. And it's a shame that we tout ourselves as we have a Long Beach, and yet we have dirty water. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's not right.
Well, rumor has it that your eyes are turning back to the east side of town in Belmont Shore for your next venture.
Well, that's that would be a dream for me to put something together like that. I've got my daughter Katie and my son Brian who love this industry, and it'd be kind of neat for me to set something up and have them get involved in it, and then I can just ride off into the sunset at some point.
Well, you're not riding off into any sunset, but you have evolved from a bar owner and a sports bar owner to a restaurateur, and you even refer to yourself at times as a restaurateur, and you're in now to running good restaurants.
Well, that's what I'd like. That's what I really like to do, and get back into doing the restaurant business. Downtown, I think I really divided my time more to doing things to try to help things, and it always took me away from really managing my own business.
You spent a lot of time, to use the phrase, fighting City Hall.
It's not just City Hall. You fight the DLBA, you fight the Chamber, you fight City Hall. Everything's about big business. They all forget about the small business guys out there.
And yet, the small businessman, like you, are at the root of American entrepreneurial effort and enterprise.
You know, it's any small business guy you talk to would agree that everything that we do today, we cater to the big business. And the small business guys, they end up getting the bill. And it's just, it's the way it is.
But, you know, particularly in Long Beach, I think anywhere, but particularly in Long Beach, people like to go to a restaurant where they know the owner. And God knows you were there standing in front of Smooth's and Mum's, and God forbid anyone went to a different restaurant, there'd be hell to pay the next time you saw them. But you were there and meeting and greeting, and almost all of our sponsors are individually owned, individually run, and it makes a difference.
Well,
Kelly's is opening up. It's the Cheers of Long Beach, where everyone knows your name, and people like that.
Yeah, I went into Kelly's the other night. It's like old home week. I mean, it's just it's a great atmosphere, great vibe. And then you watch people like Jimmy's dad at George's, who the restaurant's named after.
You can't get in without a hug.
He kisses everybody that walks in the door. I mean, he's phenomenal. And you look up and down the street on Pine, that's what it's about, is independent restaurant owners.
Yeah.
Same as way on 2nd Street. They're all independent restaurant owners.
And people like that, not part of a chain.
More so, absolutely.
Okay, we'll be continuing this wonderful conversation with John Morris. Stay with us. Continuing a conversation with entrepreneur and marketing guru John Morris. John, you've had your well-publicized bouts with the city. Is that something internal to your personality, or is you just do what you have to do to survive?
I just think you do what you have to do to survive. If you did it the city's way, everything takes forever. They're just not, I don't know what the problem is. There's a certain disconnect between people that go into City Hall and try to get things done. I don't know. I just, it's frustrating. I've seen some things happen in the past year with a couple of the restaurant owners I know that I just laugh because it's the way it's always been.
We hear that things are changing, that the planning and building have become more user-friendly and all, but you're saying that's not what you're hearing? Or
well, I think that they're user-friendly to those that have a lobbyist and can afford to pay for somebody to get things done. I think if you have a direct contact to the city council person or upper management, you can get anything you want done downtown. But downtown at City Hall is what I meant by that. But 95% of the people that go in, again, are small business guys or residents, and they don't know anybody. They're lucky to get through the door.
Well, I think all citizens certainly deserve proper treatment by city, and I know the mayor is trying to upgrade those things, but I guess there's still some room to go.
Well, I think that if they would be honest about things, from the council members to the mayor to upper management, they've all heard the nightmare stories, not only from big developers, from business owners, but unfortunately, when it trickles down to the staff level or middle management level, it just stops. I think everybody has good intentions at the upper management level, and maybe, but it doesn't change anything. Nothing changes.
Well, let's hope it does change, because we want this to be a business-friendly city.
And I will just add one thing for me. When I had my arguments back in the day, when I'll never forget Mr. Henkler's words to me one day in 1988. Downtown Long Beach will succeed despite City Hall. That was a quote from Jim Henkler. And it does succeed because you see what's happening downtown. It is growing, it is developing, but it's coming from the private side. It's not with really the big help from City Hall.
It is remarkable that the changes that have taken place. I personally feel so disappointed in the Pike, a waterfront development that could have been an icon. You can't see the water from 80%. It's in dark, it's in shadow. Problem, the parking situation with DDR, which actually had a result in a lawsuit, was unforgivable, and hopefully we can fix that.
Well, I just think that inner portion of the harbor, as we've always said of that Pike, needs to be bulldozed and rethought through. It's not going to work the way it is.
Let me just mention, this man, despite his reputation, does have a big heart. And you started, I know, way back in Legends on Christmas Day, feeding the homeless. You continue that at Mum's, and it's such a moving experience to be there and do that. But and there's so many other charities that, even though your businesses at times were not making a whole lot of money, you still did it. So
I just think you've always got to. I mean, that's been a philosophy from day one. My mom taught me that you've always got to give back. You know, and I've always done that. And where I've come from, I can relate to what a lot of people go through, and I sympathize with that. And those days of Christmas days, I know you were there many times, and I can flash back on it was like a family day.
Yeah.
The same people showed up every year, and we fed like close to 3,000 people at times.
And Long Beach, as we both know, is a very special community. And the linkages and the networking, and it's very moving. I come from New York, not Liverpool, but New York's also a very diverse city. And I love the diversity here in this town and the linkages.
And I think that's one of the things that we've really never taken advantage of is our diversity. I just think sometimes there's still a disconnect within that. In our own community, we have such great pools of assets that we don't use.
Yeah. Well, my vision for downtown was always that we have a permanent international World's Fair showcasing the diversity of the countries with whom our world-class port trades. And there could be a South Korean pavilion and a Vietnamese pavilion and a Chinese pavilion funded by these foreign countries where they would showcase their customs, their culture, their cuisine, and not a second-rate shopping center.
I agree 100%. I just don't know why that is. Just saying it the way you say it, how easy would that be to connect with those different countries and put all that together?
Building on our assets and our strengths.
The priorities are all screwed up.
Yeah. Well, we will be back in a moment for the final parts of this show, and we're so pleased to have a guy who tells it like it is. We'll be right back.
Welcome to McKenna's on the Bay, where fine dining is complemented with a breathtaking view. McKenna's is a restaurant of incredible ambiance, providing service and cuisine with style, class, and romance. The menu offers a variety of appetizers, serious seafood, prime steaks, an oyster bar, and specialty entrees for either lunch or dinner. McKenna's on the Bay features patio dining, nightly entertainment, and 2 banquet facilities. No matter what your occasion, McKenna's on the Bay is like being on vacation. Join us today at McKenna's on the Bay.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree, when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember: Polly's. 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
Take care of those who are closest to you, from our family to yours. McCarty's Jewelry, since 1932.
I've known John Morris for over 25 years. He, in fact, came here 1 year before I did in 1973. And our community, in my judgment, is a lot richer in every way because of John's efforts here. So I just wanted to publicly thank him for all of his work. And he has a big heart, and it shows, and he has really made a difference. So, John, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Arthur. Thanks for those kind words, and it was enjoyable being here again after about, I think we were here 15 years ago.
Yeah, you got our Straight Talk Community Service Award a long time ago, and but good luck on the next chapter of your life. I'm sure it'll be positive, and we encourage you back in the shore.
And I thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching, and please join us next week for the next edition of Straight Talk. And Happy New Year belatedly to everybody. Good night.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by Southern California Edison, the Press Telegram, and remember, Straight Talk is viewable worldwide 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.